Hi everybody, my name is Ricardo Adrián Villegas Gutierrez. My ticket number is 2014 17 12 44. My group is 2am 15, and we talk about the news with my classmates Vianey Peñafiel, Marco Antonio Garcia, and Jair Moreno. Thank you. Syria war. Suspect Israeli strikes on Iran-linked targets kill dozens. Israel has reported carried out a wave of air strikes on Iran-backed militia positions in Syria overnight in the fourth such attack in 2 weeks. The Syrian state news agency SANA said Israeli aircraft attacked the eastern Deir al-Zor and Abu Kamal regions. It didn't mention any casualties, but the UK-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said 14 Syrian soldiers and 43 allied militiamen were killed. Israel hasn't commented, but it often attacks Iran-linked targets in Syria. Israel has accused enemy of building up a force inside Syria and using the country to smuggle advanced weapons to Lebanon's Hezbollah movement. Iran is believed to have deployed hundreds of troops to Syria and to have armed, trained, and financed thousands of Shia Muslim militiamen from Lebanon, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Yemen to support forces loyal to President Bashar al-Assad in the 9 years Syrian civil war. SANA reports that Israel has carried out air aggressions around the city of Deir al-Zor and the town of Abu Kamal, which is near the Iraqi border, on Wednesday. It said the damage was still being assessed and accused Israel of directly interfering to support the terrorist organizations, particularly the jihadist group Islamic State, which is active in the area. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, which monitors the conflict in Syria through a network of sources on the ground, report that 18 Israeli strikes have targeted military storage facilities and a base on the outskirts of Deir al-Zor military installation in Abu Kamal and warehouses outside Mayadin. At least 55 people were killed, including 14 Syrian soldiers, 16 Iraqi fighters, and 11 Afghans, and many others were wounded, the group said. Forces linked to Hezbollah and the Fedmiyun Brigade and Afghan Shia militia operate in the areas that were attacked, it added. Iran's state-run Arabic TV channel Al-Alam quoted a source as saying no Iranians, Syrians, or members of the Fedmiyun Brigade were murdered. An unnamed senior U.S. intelligence official told the Associated Press that the air strikes had been carried out with intelligence provided by the U.S. and that they had targeted warehouses being used as part of a pipeline to store and stage Iranian weapons. The warehouses also served as a pipeline for components that supported Iran's nuclear program, according to the official. Omar Abu Layla, the Europe-based head of the activist Deir al-Zor 24 news website, tweeted that the warehouses had contrained a shipment of missiles and other weapons brought to the Deir al-Zur area by the Fatmiyon Brigade in recent weeks for distribution among Iran-backed militias. He described the airstrikes as a painful blow that indicates how much the Israelis are monitoring Iranian movements in every inch of Syria.
Hi teacher, my name is Peñafiel Rodriguez Benem Montserrat. My group is 2IM15, a signature English 2, and I'm talking about by the international news. Mexico to build an airport in Tulum in a bid to boost the economy. Tulum is famous for its coarse weathers and magnificent Mayan ruins and cenotes. President Andrés Manuel López Obrador said that besides building the Mayan train, his administration is also going to build a new airport in Tulum, one of the most popular touristic locations among national and international tourists. These projects aim to boost tourism and deployment in the region. During a press conference, the president said, "We're going to build a new airport in Tulum, which is going to help a lot." López Obrador added that this project would prevent bottlenecks and traffic generated by the construction of the Cancun-Tulum Strait for the Mayan Train. Nevertheless, the Mexican president apologized in advance because the construction will take up to the 2 years. President López Obrador emphasized that it is essential for Campeche and Quintana Roo to regulate tourism after all activities came to a halt due to the COVID pandemic. On September 3, the Quintana Roo governor announced the current area of the state would move from orange to yellow in Mexico for color epidemiological system. This means that public beaches in destinations like Cancun and Playa del Carmen were able to resume. Public beaches north of Quintana Roo remain open but only at 16% capacity, including Jalpox, Isla Mujeres, Cozumel, Puerto Morelos, and Tulum, important destinations for the Mexican Caribbean due to its beaches and adventure and ecotourism activities. Hotels, restaurants, historical cities, theme parks, tourism services, and shopping malls also remain at 16% capacity, as well as other stores beyond the travel industry. Tulum is a small town located in the Yucatan Peninsula, famous for its coarse weathers and magnificent Mayan ruins and cenotes. In recent years, Tulum has become widely popular among national and international tourists because it has all beaches, cenotes, lagoons, and archaeological sites. However, Tulum is not commercial as Cancun, and there are no enormous resorts everywhere. Tourists war USA Capitol 1 week after riots. 1 week after deadly unrest and the heart of the USA government, photographs are going viral of National Guard troops keeping watch over the Capitol. The images showing a heavy security presence inside and outside the building are a complete contrast to the scenes of chaos broadcast around the world last week. At least members of the National Guard will be in Washington, D.C. by Saturday, and police officials say that number could be more than doubled for Joe Biden's inauguration day next week. The large deployment comes as the U.S. House of Representatives votes on Wednesday on whether to impeach President Donald Trump for a second time for the role he played in the last week's violence. Mr. Trump is accused by the opposition Democratic Party, which has a majority in the House, of incitement of insurrection, and some members of his own Republican Party have indicated that will vote to change him. Many of the lawmakers voting today were caught of the events of the last week, when thousands of radical pro-Trump supporters broke in the Capitol complex as Congress voted to certify the president's election results. After the voting was secured and Reuters cleared, a large fence was erected and thousands of National Guardsmen were brought in to help protect Congress. As of Tuesday, the Pentagon approved those protecting the Capitol to carry lethal weapons as protective equipment. The FBI is still holding those responsible for the last week's violence and issued warrants of possible arrest, protests, and further unrest across the country in the coming days.
Hi, my name is Marco Antonio Garcia Garcia. My ticket number is 201405513. I am from the 2A15 group and I will talk about international news. France and Germany partially closed their countries again to try to stop the spiral out of control in which the coronavirus pandemic has entered Europe. On Tuesday, the World Health Organization announced that daily deaths from COVID-19 in Europe increased by almost 40% compared to previous week. The WHO reported on Tuesday that in total almost 3 million new cases of coronavirus were reported around the world last week, reaching a new quickly record since the pandemic began. Europe is the region that registered the most new infections for the second consecutive week, more than 1.3 million, but cases are also increasing in the Americas, the Eastern Mediterranean and Africa regions. Russia reported a daily record 320 deaths on Tuesday, bringing its toll to 26,509. The country has the fourth highest number of COVID-19 cases in the world after the United States, India and Brazil. Protests break out across Italy against new measures to contain the second wave of coronavirus in the country. Another 16,550 infections were registered on Tuesday alone, so the authorities have made the use of masks mandatory in a crowded place since the Wednesday. There has also been a sharp increase in cases in Italy, with 221 deaths announced in the 24 hours, while infections rose to nearly 22,000 in one day. Authorities said the number of tests performed had also increased. Protests broke out in several Italian towns and cities. Monday night aimed at a new round of restrictions. In Spain, last Sunday a state of alarm decree came into force for the entire country due to the unstable increase in cases. A night curfew of at least 15 days was imposed, although some autonomies have already implemented additional restrictive measures, such as confinement by cities. In France, President Emmanuel Macron announced on Wednesday that the country returns this week to his generalized confinement, with the exception of schools. On Tuesday, 33,147 new cases and 523 deaths will be reported, the highest numbers in one day since the last April. In Belgium, some hospitals have asked their doctors to keep working, even if they have the virus but shows no symptoms, because the health system is in danger of collapsing. Speaking to BBC's World and the program, Harry said, "Across the European regions, we are seeing a sharp and alarming increase in cases and deaths." He stated that daily cases increased by their compared to previous week, while daily deaths grew about 40%, despite better management on hospital capacity. Hospitals in several countries are filling up rapidly. He warned five characteristics to make the coronavirus so deadly. Harry said the effectiveness of the new restriction imposed on various European nationals could only be analyzed within 2 weeks. We will see the reduction of cases, but it's not seen overnight, say WH spokeswoman.
Hello, my name is Jair. My group is 2am15. I'll talk about the sport news. The diet of Diego Armando Maradona. The legendary Diego Armando Maradona Franco died on Wednesday, November 25, 2020, at the age of 60. The former Argentine footballer suffered a cardiorespiratory arrest at his home in the San Andres neighborhood, in the town of Tigre, according to the information for Clarín. At the beginning of the month, the Pelusa had been operated on for a clot in the brain at the Olivos Clinic in his native country. Maradona was just in the declining technical director of gymnastics and fencing of the First Division of Argentina, that began its new season, in which the team, led by Pelusa, started with the right foot. The historic Argentine player made his professionalistic football debut shortly before turned 26 years old and did so with Argentinos Juniors. Later, he joined the rank of Boca Juniors, a team with which he consolidated. Now I tell you about the best soccer player in the world, Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi will have to decide if he leaves or stays at Barcelona. Began the countdown. As of January 1, 2021, Lionel Messi has the future of the Swiss footballer carried in his hands. Still far from retirement, he is torn between two options that rarely faced in his professional life. Continue beating of the club that formed him and continue to command a Barcelona in transition, or pack his suitcases to beat on something totally new after 20 years. Your contract ends in 6 months, but from his date, you have the legally possibility to close a deal with another entity without any reprimand. The truth is that whatever the decision is, it will not be easy, and its future will not be resolved today, tomorrow, or next week. As he himself explained in his last interview with journalist Jordi Évole, "I'm going to wait for the season to end. Messi, please don't go." In another news, Canelo is the new champions. The Mexican Canelo Saúl Álvarez beat Englishman Callum Smith by unanimous vote this Saturday in San Antonio, Texas, in the United States, to win the super middleweight belts of the World Conkling and the World Boxing Association. Alvarez received cards in a favor of 1-1 knight to 1-0 knight, 1-1 knight to 1-0 knight, and 1-1-7 to 1-1-1. That reflected his superiority with what was confirmed as the best fighter of the moment without weight limit in a fight in which he went from less to more and dominated with a great repertoire of blows against an opponent who came with 27 consecutive victories, 19 by knockout.